Right now, we have another young Indian with us as part of the Voice of the Young series. Hello, everyone. Today, we have with us Abhilasha. Let's hear from her. Over to you, Abhilasha.
Yes, thank you very much, sir, for inviting me to this Voice of the Young series. I'm very grateful for this. So, I have recently done my Master's in Economics from Jawaharlal Nehru University, the Center for Economic Studies and Planning over there. So, prior to this, I also did my Bachelor's in Economics from Delhi University. And before that, I had a foundation in Science in high school from Delhi Public School, Vasant Kunj. So that will be the short intro about my academic journey so far. So, all right. So if we go a little deeper, so from science to economics, my journey. So I have always been interested in science, and I always had the curiosity to know things. But after studying for the board exams and rote learning, as the system is here for the exams, I lost a little bit of interest. So I started losing touch with the real world. That's when I decided let us go for something more connected. That's why I chose economics as my option. And initially in Delhi University, even I had got enrolled in mathematics honors. After which I switched to economics because economics was a mix of maths and theory as well. So after I did economics from there, then during the pandemic time 2020, I graduated. After that, I got into IIFT for 3 months for masters in economics as well. So before the JNU results came out, I did study at Indian Institute of Foreign Trade in New Delhi. So that gave me like a start to the internship culture. Like in undergrad days, I had not done even a single internship. But the moment you got into IAFT, that is a business school. So they have a very that culture in which you have to go be a go-getter and start getting and doing things around. So that is the first time I made even a LinkedIn ID. And that is when I started taking things seriously that my CV is empty. So I need to work on it now. So after that, yeah. So after I didn't get any internship at that time, it was when after like JNU results came out and I switched to JNU. But that culture that was instilled in me in there that stayed with me throughout JNU. So all the internships I have done have been in the time of my master's. So I started with like some data analytics internships because that was has been and will be the buzzword for quite some time in the economics field that data is the future, like in AI and other data fields. So the all the placements and everything were going in data field. So I started with internship in the data thing. So I did internship at Sparks Foundation of Singapore for like basic data things like analyzing terrorism uh, across the world, analyzing the COVID trends because the COVID data was very relevant at that time. After which I did the investment banking internship at Finlatix India. So it was more of a teaching and internship based job. Like they taught you modules on which you made case studies, did the work. After that, I did data science internship from College Ranker India. That was also along the same lines. After which, I also did an equity market analyst internship from Finalytics India and also another data analytics internship from Let's Grow More India. So after that, I had also enrolled in the placement cell of JNU. So there an opportunity came for working at FICCI, that is Federation of Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industries, which is like a voice of the industry to the government. So there I got enrolled. Even I there was an interview and then a essay writing and everything. So two people got selected from our batch, and we started our internship along with the offline classes. So from Jan to July, the classes were going online because of the COVID after effect. So we did first semester mostly online, and then the offline classes started. So even before the classes started, the office job had begun, and that was the first time I had gone to a real life office. So that was an interesting experience because I had not stepped into any place as such. So like even on the first day, like a funny story, I had bought all the new things, all new clothes and shoes, and I even got a shoe bite, and it was already a new experience, and I had so much pain in my feet. But gradually I started adjusting with the rhythm of the office, and in JNU it is a thing that in the first year you only have 3 working days. So 3 days I would go to attend classes, and 2 days I would go to office for 3 4 months. And in FICCI, we had a number of events there. So every month there would be an event, like on energy transition, like on metal and mineral industry. So one big event was there at the end that took place at Taj Hotel in New Delhi. It was a 4 day event. So during all these events, it has been a very learning experience, because as a student, you do not get to know how everything works, how things are organized, and like from morning to evening, you have to set up everything.
Yeah.
And it has been very nice experience. And after that, I even worked at Irrigation Association of India. That was also a similar kind of role in which we had to like call dignitaries to events, and there were a lot of like event report creation and research work, writing speeches for all the dignitaries and all. And after that, I recently worked at as a research intern under the joint director of Department of Economic Affairs at the Ministry of Finance. So that was a more of a research internship in which like in the macroeconomic trends, derivative markets, and financial markets, I had to do the literature review and that work and creating graphs and charts. So that has been the journey so far. And I graduated just like in masters, it just completed last month only.
So you learned more from, you caught up on all the lack of internships in your BA.
Yeah,
Looks like,
yeah,
you
yes.
were, oh,
I got
did you even go to class in JNU? I mean, looks like
yes, sir.
you're so busy with internships, right?
It was a little difficult. Like I had to manage, and in the offices, they know that you are as a student, so they don't call you that regularly, but they give you work every day. So after the classes, after your studying is done, they will give you work and give it before midnight. So it has been a lot of time. Like you have gone to the freshers party, and then you have to run back home because they want a document before 12 o'clock. So it has been a lot of work
Yeah.
in that respect, but I got a little scared after getting into IIFT that my CV was empty, so I decided to get a quick start
Is it
on.
over full now? Is it flowing over now, the CV?
Uh,
Or is
yes, the CV is good now. Now I'm happy.
okay.
Earlier it was very empty.
But how was
Oh,
JNU itself? Let's hear from you from that. How was JNU? How was college, even though it was no internships? How was it for you?
College was a very new experience. Like if you go to Delhi University, firstly, so Delhi University is scattered all across Delhi, like North Campus, South Campus, etc. But JNU is an integrated space. Like one space, everything is there. All the schools, all the centers are there.
Yeah.
So it is like a whole community university experience in itself. And
Hmm.
apart from that, if you see like the crowd which comes there, is from a lot of different economic backgrounds. So I am from Delhi and I've lived in Delhi only all my life. So it was new for me. Like firstly going to Delhi University itself was new because all my life in school I had only seen people who came from nearby places only. So it was new that people came from outside here to study, and it like kind of opened my eyes that this is the aspirational place to be at. I was taking it for granted for that long. And in JNU, people were not only from outside, they were from different economic backgrounds, and everyone was working so hard to be where they are and to get places. So it was very nice. And the culture inside is also very nice. There is no discrimination between people on gender, caste, or anything. There may be a lot of like bad news about JNU in terms of politics, but that is not what we'll get into. But I joined a society which was Rethinking Economics JNU, and I was a member from day one till the last day of my college also. So there we had a lot of events, like JNU is anyhow away from the mainstream economics. So, and the Rethinking Economics Society is an international society that also is away from the mainstream and going towards other type of economics. So our university and that organization aligned really well, and we called a lot of professors from nearby universities like IIT and a lot of activists also. So apart from like internship and college, I had to organize that also a lot of times, staying back after college for just for the events, and that was also very fun. Like organizing, I had not participated a lot in DU, although DU is very vibrant, but I got whatever I had left there in my masters.
Oh,
So that was really good.
okay, wonderful. So what you're saying is that JNU was really worth going to because it gives you opportunities, it gives you facilities, and it opens your eyes and your world to the reality of India. I guess that's what you're saying, right? You can't be just
Yes.
living in a one mohalla of Delhi anymore. You are
Yes.
now living with
It
people.
was like
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
from the closed environment I was in, it opened my eyes to a lot of possibilities and to a lot of people. Like the people I had interacted with up till that time had been very limited. The people who confirmed with what I thought, who spoke how I spoke, and to get from all JNU attracts people from all over India. So it was very interesting and a little difficult to adjust for me even at first, although
Mhm.
it should be difficult for them. But I also had a little time adjusting. But then I realized the diversity that India has. And the professors also are really nice. Like you can walk into their room for any doubts, you can ask them anything. They sit outside, they explain things. It was been really nice experience. I don't think the same would have applied if I stayed back at IIFT, because the approachability is not there at every place, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. So far as you are concerned, there is no tukde tukde gang at JNU. No.
I
Instead, you joined the rest of India. Instead of tukde tukde, you joined the rest of India at JNU, right?
Yes, the I think the bad news which is there is very like of the entire population of JNU, very little, like less than 10% people are involved in that, because I had no, in my entire duration, I didn't experience any of the protests and violence. Maybe it is because they happen at night and I was a day scholar, but there was no such incitation or no such pressure on us to join anything. Instead, the rethinking economics thing, which I joined, was also appreciated by all the speakers who came, as it was a new initiative that JNU had instead of just the politics.
Okay. All right. Wonderful. Okay. So, can you tell us? Yeah, heard you say, "Let's grow more India." Do you know what they do? Or can you tell us what they do and what you learned there?
Okay, so that was the data science internship thing. So I don't know where they got the Let's Grow More India name, but it is in terms of growing in terms of data. Like most of these internships are saying that if you learn data analytics, you get the good jobs and then you grow. So in that, like using Python or Stata and many other data softwares, they start you with the basic ideas like neural handwriting reading, and then image to picture, and like that many things were there, like pencil sketch with Python, stock market prediction, forecasting, and iris flower classification. So I was not really aware of a lot of data things, but I thought instead of learning the language separately, I should learn it in an application based format. So
Okay.
that the internships helped with that, that the application was given and they also gave guidance on how to do. So little by little, and these days YouTube is very useful in this respect, that whatever you don't understand, you can look up people who have done that. Like if you're stuck in the code anywhere, so there are a lot of forums also which help you out with that. So that was a good learning experience, but I don't think I will go ahead with data in the future. So that was the thing with the internships. It is good that I got all the experiences. Like now I know that what I want to do or don't want to do. So without like even the office experience, I would have been wondering if I want to go or if I don't want to go. So that was very nice that it was hard, but I got to learn during the learning ages.
Okay, so what is it that you want to do?
Okay, so currently I had planned previously that I would go for a PhD, but a lot of professors had advised that going for a PhD immediately after your master's is not the best plan. You have to explore a little, think a little about the proposals, like open your mind right now, like we're focused just on economics. We take ideas from different disciplines as well. So mainly, firstly, there would be research internship based under some professor. So I had not applied currently. I am in the process. I'm thinking what to do, and I am preparing for some like government exams currently for some time being. So I'm not applying currently. Maybe in the future, because PhD has no time limit. Now you can do anytime.
Yes, you can do it anytime, but okay. So what government exams you're taking preparing for UPSC now? Is that it or what is it?
Yes, I've started preparing for UPSC like 1 month back only. I decided let me give it a shot because I am good with the theory part and learning, and I have a little bit of creative writing as well. So I should give it a try because I'm interested in contributing to India as well now that it has given me all this education. So instead of just flying away and out and contributing to other economies, all the Atmanirbhar Bharat and the next 50 years of Amrit Kal, maybe stay here and contribute here.
Okay,
So
so all right, that's a good thought. So you're preparing for UPSC on your own, right?
no, I am taking some health coaching classes.
All right, wonderful. Okay, you had told me you want to show some PowerPoint. So is this the right time, or when will you show
Yes,
that?
that is the hobbies part. Okay, so first let me just talk about like the some research work I had done in the university. So like I took a seminar paper as well in the university. It was from we are allowed to take classes from other centers as well. So the seminar paper was from the Labor Studies Center. So in the seminar paper, it is like a simulation for the PhD thing. We decide our own topic and we do our own work. So I had decided to work on the women, like the domestic labor workers, the domestic help in South Delhi, and comparing it with the women who employ them, or in general the people. So in that also I had a good experience. Like I went to like all the domestic help with the sample size of 15, and I talked to them about their daily routine. So the idea was about knowing about time poverty. Like these women who have already pressed for time, they have to do their own work as well as work in other people's places. And the women who are employing them, they have to work. They employ people to do the housework, but these women, domestic helpers, they have to do their own domestic work and work elsewhere as well. So there is a lot of burden on them. Although I didn't get to much of conclusions, but the research was really nice because I got to talk to a lot of these women and got to know the situation on ground. Like a lot of them had a lot of issues with time working multiple shifts, morning to evening. The few women who had some respite were the women who had employed their own daughters to take care of the work, which is also concerning because then the young girls are not getting education at home. Now they are asking them to do the
Yeah,
work.
yeah.
So that can be an issue. And other than that, I got to compare and do the analysis of for like 2, 3 months, the entire thing. So that was a very nice experience in how research work is done. Like each time I would go to the professor and they would tell what to correct, what not to correct. And in a similar way, there was a study in labor for the labor sector in JNU. We did a study as a group talking to a lot of construction workers because there was a lot of construction work going on in JNU. So in that also we got to know a lot of perspectives, like people had lost their jobs that we had read in the newspapers, but now we got to interview people, and there were people who had worked like previously in hotels or safer businesses, where they did not get hurt, and now they had to shift because the hotels closed during the pandemic due to lack of business, and now they had to do jobs in construction. Like with the tiles thing was safe, but a lot of things were very dangerous, in which they showed us where they got hurt or cut. And
Mm-hmm.
there is no, in the informal sector, there is hardly any protection. The
Mm-hmm.
laws do not apply in the informal sector. So that was very eye-opening to us, that how it is difficult, and how young people as young as 16 and 17 were also working at the sites because they had no source of income at home. So they
Okay.
were thinking of sending money back so that their younger siblings can study. And none of them had land holdings, although a lot of studies we had done for research said that they had significant land holdings back at home, but it was not displayed in the research work we did. And it was very eye-opening that how these people are able to survive on such little, and through that we were able to do some work.
So what's the salary that these people were earning, or the wages, hourly, monthly, weekly, whatever, do you know?
Yes, most of them, like uh, there were categories like the tile putter or the cement and other things. So some people were getting, who were low skill workers, they were getting 350 rupees per day or 400. And then other, like who were doing a little bit crafted things, they were getting 700 per day. So that was that. And in that, they were saying that their accommodation has been covered by the employer, but the food and everything they have to arrange for themselves, and hardly any money is left at the end of the day to even send back to home. And it is like a contract they had for, like they have been called from their home for 15 days, then they go back. And they also told the stories like during pandemic, the way they had to, like one person said that he cycled for 150 kilometers from one place back to his place. So that was a real life connect we had, other than just reading from the news.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So let's see the slides if you are
Okay,
ready.
so yes, so that is about the hobbies. Like I had fine arts in 12th class along with my science, like physics, chemistry, maths, economics, and English. Apart from that, we had the option of taking fine arts or any six subject we like in school. So like painting is something I do very rarely, like once a year or once in 6 months. So I just wanted to share some of the paintings I made over the years. Okay, so I'll share it. Yes, sir, is it visible?
Yeah. Can you make it full screen?
Yes, sir. All right, yes.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah, so like this is one of them.
Okay.
This is the process of one of the paintings.
All right.
And this is that painting completed.
Yeah.
This one I really like. This I gifted to one of my boss at like Fiki. So this is gone, but the memory still.
Uh,
And this is the process of this final painting.
yeah.
And this is also one of the hilly paintings. This has a little bit more detailed work at the bottom and the
Mm-hmm.
plants and all.
Mm-hmm.
And these are some earlier paintings like in school days I did.
Mm-hmm.
Similarly, these. And this is like a reindeer painting.
Yeah. Wow. Pretty good.
Yeah, this one is oil painting.
Yeah.
So oil painting is a little difficult because here for oil it has a toxic substance in it for which you need proper ventilation. But with the heat in Delhi, it is difficult to keep the gates open because the AC has to keep running. No? It
Yes.
is very hot over here. So oil
Yeah.
painting has been a little difficult.
Very nice.
Yeah, the last one is like the rangoli I made on Diwali and all.
So that's a photo, right? That's not a painting.
The last one, it is from colors, a rangoli.
Yeah, I know, but Rangoli, that's you, and that's not a painting, that's a photo of you.
Yes, yes, yes,
Yes, yes,
yes.
yes, 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 yes. Rangoli, I know. Okay, fine.
Yeah, so this is it. So,
Okay, all right.
and in other hobbies,
Go ahead.
like I do a lot of cycling as well, like in Delhi. But it has been a little difficult as well because Delhi is not safe to cycle alone. So it gets a little bad, but I don't know what the solution is for it. But government should come up with some solution because this is the national capital of India. If this is not safe, I don't know what will be safe in India then.
Okay.
Like I
So,
cycle 50, 60 kilometers in one go. So that is good for health, but that has been a concern. Other than that, I also do
so
yoga
will
and
you
everything.
go with your friends or you go alone? How do you do it?
I go with my father only. He also is in fitness, so he also cycles more than me actually. Yeah.
That's amazing, actually. That's quite amazing. All right. Okay. And then besides this, you're saying something? Sorry.
And I was saying that along with that, I also have been doing yoga and different with all the yoga day and all enthusiasm which has been growing around. But I've been doing it since I was young, so a lot of yoga poses as well. And other than that, I also enjoy reading a lot of books as well. Like in the recent times, I've one of the classics I like, which was a compulsory reading in our ninth class. It was To Kill a Mockingbird, so that was very nice, and it was one of the best books I read.
Hmm.
And I read one of the books by a former doctor, that This Is Going to Hurt by Adam Kay. So it was about his like how much he works from morning to day. So I really related to that book when I had all the internships and all college and everything. So I had fun reading someone else's misery of life of going all the day as well.
Yeah.
So that has been about the books.
Okay. So, just a very personal question. Do you ever sleep?
Yes, sir, I sleep a lot of hours. Like I sleep 6 hours at least. Like my parents have this health thing that you sleep on time, eat on time, and everything. They wake me up at 6 o'clock every morning, irrespective of the time I sleep at. Because I live at home
Because
only,
you
so
seem you have so many activities. It seems like how do you sleep? You must be working till late. I mean,
yes, I
when the things were due at midnight, you can't finish it before 11 o'clock. It's you're tempted to keep working on it till 11:30 or so, and send it just in time, right? And so, when do you get the
yes.
time? But anyhow, you seem to be enjoying life and working hard. So, you have any tips for your juniors that you can pass on?
Okay, so like one of the things I really like,
I
one
mean,
quote
look,
that is.
you didn't do any internships in your undergraduate. Do you regret it? What do you think about it now?
No, I don't regret it because I wanted to enjoy the process of learning, and DU was very hectic anyhow. Like JNU is a little bit more relaxed. In DU, there is an attendance rule, there are classes every single day. And in DU, I mean, it is difficult to they put a lot of things in the syllabus all through the 6 semesters. They don't leave you alone anytime. So there was no time to do internships at that time, and I don't think I had the maturity that I wanted to work or anything like that at that time. So that also reminds me that along with the economics thing at Delhi University, I had also taken an extra subject of English for 4 semesters. We are allowed to take, it was like you get a minor degree in that subject. That never came, but I enjoyed the subject. So that introduced, like each semester they had a different theme. So like one semester it was Hindi Sahitya related, other 2 semesters it was related to women empowerment and other things, and one semester it was related to text and performance. So that was very interesting because up till now I had only read things which were written by English authors for English audience, and they were just put in our syllabus, although they are diversifying the syllabus of the high school these days. But this was the Dalit writings of the Adivasi tribes. which had only been in oral form up till now. So translating them to text so that we know what it is and are able to appreciate. So that is also very important. Instead of just reading what has been passed on by English authors, there is a need for appreciation of what we have.
Okay.
And other than that, the Dalit writings are also important because they were written by Dalits themselves. Like someone else writing from their perspective is very different from a Dalit writing himself. So that opens eyes to a lot of issues, and I think remaining unaware about them and going through life without awareness about things is little dangerous, and I don't think that is nice. So, like in the, I'll read it from here. In the women empowerment class, we read about interrogating gender, about the politics of patriarchy, about the history of women movements, political participation, as well as the Dalit narratives. And there were few nice stories I read in it, which was like The Flowering Tree, A Woman's Tale by A.K. Ramanujan, a woman's retelling of the Rama tale by Deb Sen, and we talked about the Sindhi literary cultures which were at crossroads of Indiaic and Iranian civilization. And the tribes we read about was the Munda, Kond, and Adi tribe, as well as the Dalit Sahitya. And we also read about the Bhakti Sufi literature. So it was written that the plurality of languages gets demonstrated by the way people constantly practice translation creatively and naturally, even in everyday interactions. So, how extraordinarily long has been the period of colonization, and it has marginalized the study of complex linguistic plurality as well as cultural diversity in the subcontinent by emphasizing English education on one hand and exoticizing the Oriental texts on the other hand. So, there is a need that the Western influence literary, which is Western influence of literature, has marginalized the dynamic oral traditions of folklore and the multiple traditions of storytelling that have been there in India for a very long time. So they have been pushed to the periphery. And other than that, we also had the text and performance thing in one semester. So that was very interesting because I have no relation with drama or even the theater thing. So they introduced a lot of theories like the Aristotelian, Roman, English drama, Egyptian, and Greek drama. From that, they even talked about the Natya Shastra, the Western theater of drama, the theories of performance, analysis of Shakespeare's active stage play, audience, and an engaged performance. And it said that in the performance space, it is that there that the various nuances of text are given full expression and realized to the maximum. So that was like the last thing after we had read everything. So that was a very interesting course. Like apart from everything of economics I read, this was a respite in the little things that this was interesting to read whenever my brain got tired from economics. So
Well,
this has been very nice and helped me
yeah.
in a lot of creative thinking over time.
Well, wonderful. I'm so glad that you got such a broad exposure and you began to think for yourself, what they don't teach in the courses, but you began to think for yourself. And that's really very important to know India more deeply and to think for yourself. That's excellent. I'm really happy to hear that. But I was looking for some tips that you want to pass on to juniors.
Yes, so like one tip would be firstly, like this quote of Steve Jobs has stuck with me for very long, that stay hungry, stay foolish. So I
Ah,
think that is for everything in life, that you should never stop learning, no matter the age. Like if your curiosity arises in any subject, no one should put a limitation on you. If you want to learn, go ahead and learn. Like if I'm interested in astronomy, gradually I can learn it at any age. There should be no stopping to learning. So that is one thing. And other thing is like this is not more of an advice, it is like respect for teachers. So for that, I think for the new India we want to develop, there is need for good teachers, because it has always been like if some teacher has been there for me constantly for some period of time, had advised me something, so even after all these years that has stuck with me. So there have to be teachers who inspire students other than just treating it like a job. So if any professor praised you or anything like that, so that has been very vital in my development, I feel. Like if someone is standing there for you, teaching you and introducing you to everything instead of just teaching you for getting the marks. So there has been like a rise in coaching institutions, even for school children. So why is that is the question? Are they not teaching enough at school? So that is a concern I have, because there should be best quality teaching given at school itself, because the coaching institutions just want you to get the marks and get going, but a lot of learning happens other than that as well in development stages.
Yes.
And other thing would be like, uh, this will be for young people, like to stay away from a lot of digital and social interaction all the time, because it is harming your mind as well as your health, your eyes, everything. And at an impressionable age, it is easy to get influenced by a lot of things. So like my parents had restricted, I didn't have internet access even till 12th class. So that had been like, I got into reading, I got into nature, I had a lot of pets, animals, and all. So that is necessary that you don't get engulfed in this, because these days you see a lot of people, even with very young children who are just born, they put like digital devices in front of them so that they stop crying. So in a vital age when the brain is developing, it is not the right time to do such things. And other would be like to eat healthy and eat nice, but that is also a concern. Like in India, I've noticed, like here, with Delhi pollution levels, as you must be aware, I have grown allergic to a lot of food categories over time. And this I realized when I went to the hills some time back. There I had some food substances which I am allergic to, but I didn't show any symptoms to that, because
Okay.
that was grown in the hill air, hill water, and fresh environment. So that's when I realized that the food we are being served, which is the green leafy vegetables, even are dipped in chemicals. So that is a concern, that what to eat, what is even good these days.
Okay. All right. Anything else you
And
want to add?
like the other thing would be like to follow a pattern. Like I think a lot of anxiety and depression, which is coming in children these days, is because they're up all night till the morning, and then their sleep pattern gets destroyed. Everything falls apart then, because there are a lot of studies which are showing how vital sleep is in everything, and the market will not sell it because there is no benefit in selling you sleep.
No.
There is nothing, no profit they're earning from it. So that is vital, that you get enough hours of sleep for every aspect of life. So that would be nice for children to follow.
Okay. Wonderful. All right. Anything else you want to add?
No, that would be it, sir, I guess.
Well, okay. You have done a great job. No internet, health, good eating, good internships, good use of your time, and you're looking forward to contributing. So I'm glad that we are here, and maybe we catch up with you in a year to see what decisions you finally made and where you are. But for the moment, let's say bye to the viewers, and I'll be back with another young person or an expert soon. Till then, let's say bye. Bye,
Okay,
everybody.
thank you, sir.